Batwing again. This is my third stream for it. And yeah. Yesterday I finished the wings, or at least the outside of the wings, sort of smoothing them off a bit. And then today I'll be doing bag 7 and bag 8, which still leaves 5 more bags, I believe. The last one just being the stand. That has my favorite minifigure in this set, the Joker. But for minifigures, this bag also has that. This bag also has a minifigure, so I'm just gonna get the stream up on my laptop so I can sort of see it. Oh, there it is. No, I don't want to edit it. I just want to watch the thing. Okay, that's great. Maybe if I click on this. Oh, there it is. Okay. Cool. Okay. So this bag seems like a pretty small one. It's sort of starting to build up the main middle section of the Batwing and adding a few more details on the wings. Okay, so I'll get right to this thing with the, starting with the minifigure. I don't know if I have all the pieces taken out here because I don't see the torso yet for the minifigure. It's great. Found the head and the legs. I must be missing a small bag here because the torso is purple. I'd see it. Okay, I'm gonna go check to see if I can actually find it. Thought it was only gonna be 2 bags, but I found it. And I actually see the accessory and the, oh, I've got the camera part of my phone over there this time. I had to charge it, so I wanted, had it plugged in overnight, and it didn't charge. I've sort of had that issue with my phone the last few weeks, where I plug it in first, and it just doesn't charge. And I checked it, and it seemed like it was charging, but I guess it did not. This minifigure has a bit of arm printing, which is pretty cool. I don't know if this Joker henchman has a specific name or anything. I guess he's just kind of known for his boombox that he has. But I think it's a cool minifigure. I really like the torso print and the arm printing there. I think this is the only minifigure in this set with arm printing. Of course, the Batman figure doesn't have it. I'm not 100% sure. On the Joker, here is the figure, and I'll just put it over with the other one. Okay, so get into the build. Okay, so adding some things to the wings. 100% sure on which tiles I am actually doing. I think it's these ones though. But I guess I'll see when I click these in. If they go to the right studs, and they did. Okay, good. And then one across here. Cool. Okay, so yeah, that's that. Let's starting my day today with a walk like I usually like to do. But, or I did it, but it was really busy. Because the schools were starting. I didn't entirely realize that. When they started, I sort of had an idea, but I wasn't 100% sure. So it was really busy while I was walking there. And after I did that, I did my first bit of Christmas shopping for the year. I got a couple Christmas cards. And I got some Christmas wrapping paper. I sort of just, I saw it and I didn't want to end up not having it, so I thought it was decent. Here it is. It's some Grogu wrapping paper. My mom really likes Grogu, so I thought that wrapping paper was pretty good, and I was at Walmart a little while ago and I saw that they did have a pack of Grogu wrapping paper, but it was 3 rolls, which I feel like was too much for it. Like, for the specific wrapping paper that it is, I only want to wrap a few gifts in it, and I'm assuming this will sort of last a few. Usually, I like to do all the wrapping, and I really enjoy doing it, and for those gifts, it's usually rectangular boxes, and those take up a decent amount of wrapping paper, and always have stockings every year, and with those, a toe gift, like I don't know if it's a really big thing, a lot of people do it or not, I don't know, but that's something we do every year, and just sort of a larger stocking stuffer gift, and yeah, that's what I want to use that wrapping paper for, is just some stocking stuff. I love to just wrap stocking stuffers, like I could just stuff them, stuff the stocking stuffers in the stocking, but I sort of like to wrap each thing, even though I think I'm gonna have a bit of a tough time doing it this year, just, well, I was gonna say with school, but when I get off for my break, that's when I finish this semester, so I won't have any work to worry about, because when I go back, it'll be a whole new semester, so it's really just getting a few things ready, but that takes at most an hour or two, so I'll have the entire time, so about a week or so, if I don't get to start doing it, like later November, December. That's usually like when I like to start. I start after Remembrance Day on the 11th. When I was at the store today, they had Poppy boxes. First one I've seen so far this year. So, I have a pretty cool metal Poppy that I think is it's really cool. I got it at the mall a little while ago, and they always have a bit of a stand set up, and they have some interesting metal ones that I just find are a lot better. I just find the ones you can get when you go into a grocery store, a convenience store, a drugstore, whatever it might be, where they would have boxes, and you'd put some sort of donation in there. I just don't, I find they always fall off. So I like the metal ones a lot better. They're a bit smaller, but they seem to stay on and actually be able to keep them for longer, so the like $10 or $20 that they cost is, well, it's a donation, it's not a cost, so I still want to put it in even if I'm not going to take one of those ones. So this, I'm really doing a lot of greebling right here. There's a lot, there's these black ones right here, black girl pieces that I'm just placing, let me see, 43 of them. Which adds some cool details to the side of the wings. I wasn't 100% sure looking on the box and looking at the images whether or not these were gray or if they're black, and I like that they're black. I think they look a lot better. Oh, so it looks like I'm going to be starting to build up this thing a bit. The actual middle section, which is fun. I like that. Building it up. Oh, okay. Completely turning this thing around. One thing that I didn't talk about on my last stream, I don't believe I did at least, was Andor and Tales of the Jedi. So I'm not going to be doing a video on like what type of Lego sets I like because it's probably pointless anyways. I'm not going to make it, or at least any more on Andor. I really doubt it, which is disappointing because it's one of my favorite Star Wars things ever. And I don't even know what I would like to see from Andor. Like, when I think about it, I'm good with the one set that there is, because I feel like I get the characters that I'd want. Like, I'd like Dedra. I quite like her, even though she's one of the ISB agents, and I was gonna say that I dislike most ISB agents, and then I thought about Thrawn and Yularen, so I sort of like them more than most Imperials. But like, I'd like to see her. Of course, she's coming in the DTC pack for the Skywalker Saga, and that minifigure looks really cool. There's also Bix, I believe, in that character pack. I really don't care to get that minifigure all that much. Andor's droid, or Marva's droid, not 100% sure. Be something. I quite like that droid. I don't know how they would do it. So I think the set I would go with, if I was to have any more Andor set, it would be a buildable character of that droid. I think that would be the one other Andor set I like, because, of course, we've got Luthen, and we've got Andor, and the security agent who's fired. I really like the character, but I can never think of his name. It's odd. I usually am really good with characters' names, and in this series I have a bit of a tough time with it, but I really don't care about that, because I'm just so interested in the show that I feel like I'm not as interested in knowing the characters' names and all that. But I think my one other set for Andor that I'd pick would be a built-up version of that droid. I think that would be a really interesting buildable character set, and of course go well with all the other droids, R2, BD1, Dio, the one from the sequels, completely blanking on the droid that has probably the most, no, I was going to say like the most toys, but then there's R2-D2 exists, so, it's been around a lot longer than that rolling one, which can't exactly, like, I can remember Dio, the random droid that appears in episode 9, but I can't, BD1, well, I think is actually a lot better, because, I don't know, I like Jedi Fallen Order. which yesterday at the Hasbro Pulse thing, they revealed a Jedi Survivor figure, and I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like that was the first thing that was shown off for that game, or at least what Cal Kestis would look like. Not 100% sure on that, but I feel like that's the case. Applying a lot of stickers here for the console of the cockpit area. Yeah, I think that would be a interesting buildable character set that I'd be happy to see. I'm not entirely happy with my sticker placement here. They're alright, they're just a little bit off. Not entirely happy with that, but that will be covered up and I'm never going to see it, so I don't necessarily, I really want to get this sticker perfect, but at the same time, I'm going to be displaying it in its, hung up position, so I won't even be using that stand. I'll just be using, well, I might display the stand somehow. I kind of, I'm sort of, trying to update my Lego room a bit and just overall improve it. Okay, okay. And I'm gonna place the pieces wrong, but no. There's just, I need to turn this around. There's a lot of turning going on this bag. And Tales of the Jedi, I don't think is gonna get sets. I'd love it if it was. It's just, I could see this show for sure getting multiple seasons. I think it's just a good thing to drop every year where you just have 6 episodes that tell a story about a character. I'd love Tales of the Sith, Tales of the more Jedi. I'd love to see Plo Koon, and that's not just because I want to see more of the Wolfpack. That's for sure not the case. It is the case, totally the case. Also to see Plo Koon, one of my favorite Jedi. There's other Jedi that would be really interesting to see. That I think the idea of the series is really cool, and making the first one on Dooku and Ahsoka. Of course, Ahsoka, a really big, prominent Star Wars character currently. And Dooku's learning more about Count Dooku in Star Wars is always really cool, and I like that. And seeing his story, I don't know, I feel like I grew to like Dooku more. And, I sort of understand his turn a bit more. Now, some of the things he did in that turn I don't support at all, but his reasons for doing it make sense. But Lego sets for that show. I'd love to get a younger Dooku. I'd love to see a Yaddle minifigure. Of course, this is something that I think we need. Rex's Y-Wing. Seeing Phase 1 clones again was really cool. I'd love to get a a somewhat cheap set, whether that's a battle pack or a $40 set that is sort of similar to a Dark Trooper attack or a 501st Clone Troopers, those type of sets. That's a very interesting piece connection. Huh. They're gonna for sure have to stabilize this thing, because that is not enough, but currently it's No, I think this just slowly builds it up. It's this piece right here, and it's connected just by one stud slightly by that, and it's not like a connection either, it's just sort of put in there. It's a very interesting usage there, or placement. And I'm sure it's going to be sort of strengthened later on, but currently it's a very weak connection and would easily fall off. So hoping that is strengthened. No one's going to be swooshing this set around, but still a stable model with all the parts staying together is something anyone would want with their Lego set. So Tales of the Jedi. Rex's Y-Wing, of course, appeared in this, the Bad Batch, the Clone Wars Season 7. There's so many reasons to make that. It's being built up now. Perfect. Sort of weird that was put in the step that it was. It was like, you put that down, then you went to another section of the Batwing, built that up a bit, and then finally you come back to it. It's a bit odd. Just the high demand for Rex, a Rex minifigure. Not just that, but he's appeared. Rex has appeared in many things. He's going to continue to appear in things, I would assume. He's appearing in the Bad Batch. It would make a lot of sense for him to appear in the Ahsoka show. There's a lot of reasons to make something that happens to do with Rex, especially before the Bad Batch comes out. Now, by the time that a potential Rex's Y-Wing would come out, Season 2 would already be out. Whether or not that Y-Wing appears again, I don't know. But I think that really should be a summer set. Of course, I want a Rex minifigure, but it makes sense to do it, especially with the amount of appearances that I was looking for a piece and I'd already put it on. I'm sort of starting to doubt my ability in building Lego sets. Keep making these stupid mistakes. I guess while talking, you're not fully concentrating on the actual build, so sort of makes sense a bit. But yeah, there's a lot of characters I'd like to see, and I guess there's some ships in there, but those appear in so many Star Wars things that that's a really nice looking. That technique that I mentioned, the weak connection point, it made a really nice looking build, and I'm sure you could have used other pieces to accomplish that, but I thought it was a cool piece usage. There's ships that appear in that show that I'm sure appear in other films or television that would make more sense to make that appearance over the Tales of the Jedi appearance. But I think getting certain characters, two in particular with Yaddle and Dooku, a younger Dooku, would be the thing that I would like the most from this show. Other than that, there's not that much from the Tales of the Jedi now. There's certain things that appear, like I'd love to get a Caleb Doom minifigure. He didn't say a word in this thing, but I'd love to get that. I'd love to get more just basic clones, a Phase 1 Rex, a Phase 2 Rex, a Rex's Y-Wing, Naboo as some sort of scenery build. There's so many things that appeared in the series, but they also appear throughout Star Wars that I think those appearances throughout Star Wars would make sense to do. But getting certain characters, which I mentioned this before I saw the series, and I still think it would be the best set, would be a $20 dual set with Dooku and Yaddle. And seeing how it works, you've got a bit of function now. Having the door come down is a bit of a dark one. Of course, she doesn't necessarily die to that door, but actually, she does kind of have a cool moment, so you could maybe have it as a feature where she lifts up the door. And I thought that was really cool in the series, especially the music that played with it. One thing about the show, the music was great. It was really good. Some really good Star Wars music in the show. And overall, I've really enjoyed Tales of the Jedi. I just don't see it getting sets. The Bad Batch is one that I'm really hoping does get a few sets, because there's things I've seen in the trailer, and I'm sure there's things that I'm going to see in the show that I want so much as a set. Maybe it's like The Mandalorian, where they realize the popularity of what like the content that is in the show that they just have to make sets on it. Like the first season of The Mandalorian didn't get a lot, but season 3 is already starting off with 2 sets. The Summer Wave had a bunch of sets from season 2. I wouldn't be shocked if this Summer Wave we got a few Bad Batch sets, whether that was from season 1 or season 2. And probably more Mandalorian sets in the Summer Wave, and then 1 or 2 sets, I would assume, with Ahsoka, and then maybe a Return of the Jedi set, and a few other things just to sort of fit in there. I'm excited to hear of the rumors for the Star Wars Summer Wave. I think I'm at a point right now where I think I'm the most interested in Star Wars, Lego Star Wars, everything about Star Wars than I've been in a long time. And I love The Mandalorian, and I've really enjoyed watching it. But currently, playing Battlefront, watching Andor, I'm just loving Star Wars right now, and I'm really excited for Lego Star Wars next year. And, yeah. I think it's going to be a good year for Lego Star Wars. Just adding some more small details. Oh, it actually looks like I'm going to be pretty much copying this on the other side. But yeah, so I think after this bag, I'm pretty much going to have these wings completed. Yeah. One other Lego theme that I'm quite excited for this year is Lego Marvel, and specifically the Guardians of the Galaxy sets. The Guardians of the Galaxy is my favorite. It's my favorite Marvel movie. It's one of my favorite video games. I've played the recent Guardians game, Volume 2. I love it. It's my second favorite Marvel movie. I like the Guardians of the Galaxy so much, and I'm happy that they are getting 3 sets. One cheaper set, which whether or not that is a 4+ set or just like a $10 set, similar to what we had with the Eternals and that Icarus Sprite set, which I don't think the Eternal sets have sold overly well. Last few times I've gone to a specific Lego store, they've had a lot of sets on sale. My normal one, I haven't actually been there in a while. They even had a few sets on sale, and they don't really have a lot on sale usually. But the specific one I was talking about is where I got my purple clone sets. And they had so many sets on sale. I think they had all the Eternal stuff. They had the Batcave from the Batman, and a few other things, a few helmet sets, some display sets, some other themes. And there was some pretty decent sets on sale. It was just, well, I was getting $100 worth of Lego clones, so I don't want to just buy sets for the sake of buying them because they're on sale. It's like, I like the sets, but I don't really need a Batcave. I think I'd prefer just to buy the minifigures because I really don't have all that much interest in the build. And there were some display sets like the Venom and Carnage helmets that I think or heads that I think are really interesting, and I would for sure be interested in getting them. But I don't know. They're going to retire. I'm going to miss them, and it's going to be, it is what it is. It's not going to, like, maybe in the future it's a set that I pick up, but currently I don't really have much interest in getting them. And it was like $10 or $20 off. It wasn't a huge sale, but it was still very interesting to see Lego sets on sale at Lego stores, because I just am not used to that. If it was like Snow Trooper Battle Packs, I get them. And there actually was some Star Wars sets on sale. The Moff Gideon's light cruiser. It was pretty much, I think, $40 or $50 off. That was the one I saw that really I would have for sure considered it, but of course I'm not gonna go into the Lego store and go and buy $300 worth of Lego, especially with the whole Christmas season and my birthday's later in the year. So with all that coming up, I'm not gonna go out and buy $300 worth of Lego as much as I might like the set. Like I said, I'm a bit obsessed with clones currently, which is why I'm so excited for the 501st Battle Pack. And even though it's going to be impossible to get for the first few months, when it comes back in stock, it's going to be probably in stock. Like, it might take a couple rounds of being in stock before it stays, but when it stays, and it's gonna be there for a couple years, and everyone who wants to get some 501st Battle Packs will be able to get some 501st Battle Packs. Just realized I actually missed a part on the other side that I need to fix. Right there. And right. Oh, that's interesting. It sort of just goes on there. It doesn't have any. Usually, these pieces right here, I find that they are. They sort of stick to studs. The top one, because, well, if you don't, it doesn't stay properly, right? It doesn't stay into place 100%. But in this case, they're sort of just placed in there, so you gotta position them properly. I'll sort of make sure that's all proper when I display the set. But of course, this is a display set, so that's, not everything is going to be, in a play set, you probably wouldn't see that. So I guess there's differences in the building techniques for display sets and play sets. Of course, that's expected. Play set, you're going to have play features and stuff like that. Yeah. So I think I was talking about the Guardian sets. I'm really hoping they have those blue outfits that from those set photos for the film. I really hope that they're wearing those outfits in the sets. Now, of course, I'm really excited just to get a full Guardians lineup. Now, you can no, there isn't any, well, I was going to say there isn't any Gamora minifigures. No, because the Marvel minifigure series isn't out anymore, so, yeah. I guess it makes sense why they don't have all that many Marvel or minifigure series out at the same time, because, well, if they did, there'd just be way too many. Like, currently you have the Muppets, and Series 23, you've got those Mario character packs. I'm guessing the Muppets are sort of coming to their end soon. Oh, so, looks like this is nearing its end, this particular bag. I'm enjoying the build of this set so far. It's been an enjoyable build, and it's starting to really come together. I don't know when I'm gonna finish this. This stream is coming up on 35 minutes. Well, that's not enough at all. There we go. Now let's move. One set that I'm interested in next year Um, is the Avengers Quinjet, or the Quinjet, what that will be? I'm sort of hoping for a first Avengers one. Age of Ultron, I'm pretty sure I had one. So, I don't want it to be like an Endgame one, even though from my understanding, that did not appear in Endgame. They just made it as a set, but I guess it's possible that they could just do that again and add characters from Endgame, but and pretty much just reuse a bunch of minifigures. I hope that's not the case and that you've got a bunch of new characters. But then you make a first Avengers one, you really wonder why wasn't this made last year. But overall, I'm excited for Lego Marvel next year. I think just off what we were getting at the start of the year, it seems like it's already going to be better than last year, which is good. Speed Champion seems pretty good. Overall, I think the cars are pretty good. The Skyline's my favorite, and I think that's coming out in January, so that's exciting. Indiana Jones and its 8 sets. I'm excited to see everything there. I believe some sets for the new movie. I think like 4 of them, and then 4, maybe 1 from each film. Not 100% sure. The Last Crusade, that plane set is the one I'm most excited for. I think it comes with 1 plane and 1 car, which it's not a complete remake of my favorite Lego Indiana Jones set, which is probably good. You know, making a new set is probably good, and I'm happy that there's at least 1 plane in there, and I hope it's good and well detailed, and is not too dumbed down. And actually sort of has some resemblance to the plane that you actually see in the film. No, I don't believe there's any like Nazi markings on the plane itself in the film, so I don't really think the scene, like, you're not going to have anything there that you have to completely change. Now, I believe on the box art of a few sets, or at least one of them, they have those markings, and of course they're not going to have anything close to that with this new Indiana Jones theme, and I'm interested to see what they do. Like, I feel like Last Crusade, that's a big part of Last Crusade, so it's my favorite Indiana Jones movie, so I hope that that film does get quite a few scenes done. Like, you've got that motorbike one that Lego loves making bikes, so I wouldn't be shocked if we saw that one. Now, I am looking at this build. I want to make sure, because I have this piece right here. Now, it's for sure that it could just be an extra part, but I don't see where it would go, if it did go anywhere. No. It doesn't seem like it. Okay. Bag 8 time. Building up the middle section, because the wings, I think, are pretty much done now. 8. For Lego Speed Champions, I'm really interested to see. For Lego Speed Champions, I'm really interested to see what comes of the movie sets. Of course, there's 2 for Fast and Furious, or at least one out being the Charger, and then the other with the Skyline. I'm interested to see, and of course there's the Aston Martin, the DB5. So I'm excited to see what else comes from that. I'd really love to see like a Mr. Bean Cooper. I think that would be really cool. And of course, the car itself would be less pieces than a normal one, but you could have a bunch of accessories with it now. I don't know if that's something they'd actually want to do, but I think it would be a really cool set. I would for sure buy it. I love watching Mr. Bean, so I'd really like that as a Lego Speed Champion set. Especially with given the 8 wide, I think it allows for a lot of cool things, and just overall, Speed Champions is such a good Lego theme currently. The building process of the sets for me is just so enjoyable, and they're like the price of them is just I'm quite surprised they're still the price they are now. Of course, they did just recently go up, but still, I still think even there they are still a really good price for the quality of build that you get. And I think one thing that I really like is watching these set designer interviews for the Speed Champions theme, and they just seem so interested in what they do, and I'm sure a lot of these set designers are. I liked watching the Marvel set designers in most cases, but I feel a lack of interest when it comes to the Star Wars designers talking about the things that they're making. It's just, in the interviews, the recent, whatever it was, the Lego thing in Denmark, I'm not entirely sure what exactly it is, but them talking about Lego Star Wars, the set designers, and getting asked questions, and certain questions, like the stuff about including a crab droid. Their answer of not even thinking about it. It was just quite sad, really. To think that they don't even think about the stuff, like the stuff that makes sense. Now, including some super obscure character, it's fine, but like, you're making a set off a specific scene. Of course, it's Utapau. You're including Cody, and you're including 212. It's an Utapau APT. The characters just and make that clear. Why isn't a crab droid included? Now, like, it's never been made before. It's a cool inclusion in this set. Of course, you can put it in anything, whether that's a battle pack or another set down the line. You can put it in so many things, but it makes sense. The thing that just bugged me the most is the fact they didn't even think of including it. It's like, do you even watch what you're making the content off? Like, it's like, sure, they probably don't need to necessarily watch the scene, but you can watch like a 5-minute video of the Utapau scene to understand it. And like, it's now, sure, it's pretty small in that scene, but it's a cool scene. You know, you got your 212 jumping on top of the crab droid, and it's a cool scene. I just kind of wish that I felt better about the Lego Star Wars set designers, because there's other designers, like the Speed Champions ones, where they talk about their things. They seem so interested in what they're doing, and I like that, and it makes me feel better about purchasing the Speed Champion sets, because I know that a lot of care went into designing the set, and I like that quite a bit. Whereas I don't feel that currently with Lego Star Wars as much as I really enjoy Lego Star Wars currently, and Star Wars as a whole currently. But yeah. And it's not all set designers things, but for Lego Star Wars currently, I think my biggest issue with it is the small mistakes. The mistakes that will totally go over the head of anyone who is not huge into Star Wars or Lego Star Wars. You know, it doesn't make a difference to them, but small mistakes that shouldn't happen, like the crab droid, like box art things, minifigure choices, poor minifigure choices, just small mistakes like that bug me more, and I don't think there's many large or big mistakes with Lego Star Wars currently. Okay, I did this one incorrectly. But yeah, I still enjoy Lego Star Wars quite a bit, and I'm excited to see what comes of it as it continues. So I'm hoping for some good, good sets. That's obviously something I very much like to get each year, is high quality sets, and I think this year was really strong. A few things that would probably change, but this year as a whole for Lego Star Wars was really good. I think I'm going to just end this stream with talking about themes as a whole this year and how I feel they did, how they performed, and the sets that were made for each. I'm just going to rebuild this one, because I think that would be the best idea, because I did do this incorrectly. I don't know if that can be heard on the stream, but someone is cutting their lawn right now. I don't know why they're cutting it when it's probably the coldest day so far of the year, but all the power to you, yes, I know. Okay, so I see. That was my errors. I missed that part. Now where? Oh. Okay. That's starting to really get on my nerves. That's a bit annoying. I have work to do after this. I'm not excited to have to listen to that the whole time. Hopefully by the time I start it, I have to deal with that, because that's sort of getting a bit annoying. Quite a bit, actually. I'm just gonna, the main themes that I collect and how I feel they perform. So, Lego Star Wars. Maybe like an out of 10 score. I'm gonna go 8, I think. 7 or 8 out of 10. Probably like 7.5 out of 10. Maybe 8. Some really good sets. I think the ATT, the Inquisitor transport ship, even Cad Bane's Justifier, as much as I think it's a really expensive set, is a good set. BD1, the Summer Wave, I think was really strong. Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter has those gaps, but I still think it's a really good Lego Star Wars set. Things that I didn't like, the Purple Clone set was really cool and a very interesting choice, and I'm really happy they made it. I think some missed opportunities here. It was odd to me that they didn't have some sort of like Jango Fett slave one to go with uh, Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter. I just feel like those ones are so intertwined that it's an odd choice that wasn't made. Okay, so I finally have that actually together nice, and that looks really good when it's together. So yeah, I think that's a bit missing here. UCS, I think, is really good. I enjoy UCS sets a lot, and I don't know, like, the Luke's land speeder I just don't think was a good choice. I think there was other things to do that would have been better choices. The Luke's land speeder should be made, and is made now, as a Lego UCS set. I don't think it necessarily should have happened this year. But I think it's a good set. I think all UCS sets, except maybe the earlier ones, are really well built. They look good, and that's sort of what you want. The Razor Crest, it's expensive, but it's a really good set. Don't know if I'm going to get it anytime soon or get it at all, just with that price point. Like, I have other sets that are expensive that I'd sort of prefer to get than I would the Razor Crest. I'm happy with my play scale one, and I don't necessarily need a set that I can't even fit anywhere on my shelves and need pretty much a whole new table for. So yeah, I think overall there's some really good stuff. I think the January was lacking. The Razor Crest Microfighter totally makes sense, and the Slave one, upcoming one, makes sense. I'm not really interested in getting those at all, even if the builds are somewhat interesting. The Hoth ATST was alright. It makes sense for what came out, but I don't. Like, that's one part where I think was a bit lacking. The display sets, the quote sets, I think were overall good. They're just a bit expensive, but, like, once again, they're good. They're not great, but they're good. The minifigure packs, they didn't have enough of that Star Wars, or the Clone Trooper one, which is disappointing, because I thought that was a really great minifigure pack, and I'd really love to have more of them, but I only got one of them. I for sure had a chance to get like 5 of them when they were online, but I missed that. I wish I hadn't. Overall, it was a good year for Lego Star Wars. I think a really strong summer wave, but a bit of a slow start to the year. I think it really started to pick up with that purple clone set, which was just such an obscure set and a really cool one to have now in Lego Star Wars, and I'm happy about it. I would say the build of that one, especially compared to the last one, is a bit lacking. It's better than when I originally saw the pictures. When I originally saw the pictures, I was really disappointed because I loved those minifigures, but the build looked like a 4+ build. As I've gone to look at it more, the build's not as bad. I think the main area using that one larger cockpit piece wasn't the best, but overall, good Lego Star Wars year, and I think my final score for it will be an 8 out of 10. So other themes I like, the Botanical Collection, I enjoyed building those sets. Really good year. The orchids, the succulents, quite strong. I think it's some of the best sets. I think 2 of the best, probably the best Botanical Collection sets yet. And I'm gonna give it a 9. Really strong. I enjoyed the building process. Just good sets altogether. Speed Champions. The building experience of the sets was really good. The choices, some of the choices just didn't interest me at all. Like, I love the Countach. I think that's the best Lego Speed Champion set ever. But there were a few choices that just didn't interest me. I loved building them. but they weren't some of the best. So I think I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10, but really good building. And I think so far next year will be better. Same for the start of Star Wars year as well. Lego Marvel. Bit disappointing, especially following up a really amazing year, probably one of the best or the best year for Lego Marvel ever. I think I'm going to give it a 6. The Sanctum, Garganto Showdown, the Goat Boat, other, like, having the best name of a Lego Star Wars set, or Lego Marvel set. The complete lack of Infinity Saga sets, especially after last year, with all the potential that could be of that theme, not having No Way Home sets now makes sort of sense, given it takes a while for sets to be designed, but still, quite disappointing. I think it wouldn't be as disappointing if it wasn't following up such an amazing year from Lego Marvel, but it was. And because of that, and a complete, like 3 D2C sets, I would say, right? The Sanctum, Black Panther, and the Hulkbuster. 2 out of 3 of those, not good. I have no interest at all in purchasing the Black Panther or the Hulkbuster. I think they're too big, they're too expensive, there's no use for them at all, and that could have been put into something much, much better. So overall, Lego Marvel, disappointing. I think next year so far is looking better. Even without the set names, I think it's better. Or set pictures, I think it's better. A disappointing year. Some good sets, or some really good sets, and then some just very poor sets that I don't understand why they exist, honestly. After Lego Marvel, Lego DC was pretty much non-existent. So I'm not even going to give it a score because it's pretty much non-existent. I'm not going to base it off just one 4 plus set because it's a 4 plus set. So I'm just not going to give it a score and describe it as non-existent. Another theme, a theme that really interested me, again, when Core came out, Ninjago. Got me back into the theme. Really enjoyed it this year. The Core sets, a bit disappointing. Overall, the build of those sets are quite disappointing, very much at a low level of build quality. There's a few strong ones like the Temple, which I think is one of the best Lego Ninjago, like $100 Temple sets. And I really enjoy those type of sets, and I think that was the set that got me back into Lego Ninjago, and I quite like it. Crystallized was really good. So I think I'm going to give Ninjago a 7 out of 10. I'm not going to give any 10 out of 10s here, because I don't know what a perfect wave would look like, and I don't want to give a 10 out of 10. Like, the highest I'm going to give is a 9 out of 10, so I think 7 out of 10 with Ninjago Core existing, I think is a decent score for Ninjago. I'd love to see improvements next year, and I'm excited to see what Core brings, even if it doesn't necessarily interest me, and I wish they went back to Legacy, as I think Legacy is so great, especially when they were just on the verge of making sets from Possession, my favorite Ninjago season. It sort of hurts me thinking that one more year of Legacy probably would have meant many sets for Possession. And getting a new Moro minifigure, and new ghosts, and new suits, updated versions like we got of that Zane, getting the whole ninja in those updated Legacy outfits. I'm disappointed that Legacy didn't continue, and part of that is why I have a bit of a just not a very good feeling toward Ninjago Core because of what it replaced. So, yeah, 7 out of 10, I think. Actually, no, I think I'm going to go 7.5 Yeah. Other themes that I'd really like to collect that I'm sort of trying to just think of. The modular set from this year, I enjoy modulars. I didn't think this one was really good, so I'll give the modular, like, I don't know, uh, 6, 7 maybe. Yeah, probably 6, around there with Marvel. Like, when you have to make one set, it needs to have a really good impression, and this one just didn't have that for me at all. The Icons theme, a new theme, pretty just replacing Lego Creator. The Camaro came out for the Creator Expert car this year, and a really amazing one, up there with the Mustang, the Cooper. For me, some of my favorite Lego sets ever. Really, really strong there. The castle, the large castle. The Galaxy Explorer, very strong here for Lego Icons and Creator. The Transformer set's really cool. Really great. I'm going to go 9 out of 10. Lego Ideas. I know I said it. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to give it a 9.5. Now, I will say some of the sets aren't great. There's the foosball table. It's too expensive, I think. It's too small. It's just a bit disappointing, and I understand why it is how it is. If those limitations existed, I don't think it should have been picked. So I don't think they really thought about it before making it all too much, but I'm giving it a 9.5 because Lego Ideas had my favorite Lego set ever, The Office. I think the amount of detail that went into the Office set, the amount of minifigures, the build, it's way too good. It's way too amazing. It's just so great. And because of that, I'm going to give Lego Ideas a 9.5. The next Creator 3-in-1. There was that noodle shop that's really cool, the Butthole Tiger, the Viking ship, some other small sets. I'm gonna give it a 8, 7.5 or 8. Like, it was strong, it was good. Good year. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Those are sort of my main themes. Some of those really sort of stretching it a bit. I don't really collect that much Creator 3-in-1, but I like the theme, and I watch videos on it, build sets. I feel like I know enough about Creator to sort of grade it, and 7, I think, is a fair rating. So some really good themes. Creator Icon, or Creator / the Icon series of sets. The Botanical Collection. Ideas, all really good themes this year. Lego Star Wars, Lego Ninjago. Those were good. Lego Marvel, okay. Not great, especially following up the year that it did. I think that takes it down quite a bit. Overall, a good year for Lego Star Wars, or Lego as a whole. I think there were a few things that I'd love to change, but overall, really good, and I'm excited to see what comes next year, because I think the themes that I didn't like Marvel, are improving for next year, which is always great. Star Wars, as much as I thought it was good with that 8 score I gave it, I think it's improving next year with a better January and early of the year set lineup. And if the Summer Wave can be up to the quality that this one was this year, and hopefully better, Lego Star Wars has a chance, I think, to score like a 9 for me next year. I think Lego Ideas, just with the sets that are coming out, will digress for me, just because The Office isn't releasing, but Lego Ideas will always have a spot in my heart for being this theme that released The Office. Creator Expert, not the Range Rover, I believe, is coming out for the Creator Expert Car of the Year, which isn't as good as the Camaro for me. Not interested in it as much, and for that reason, I think Creator is going to go down for me. Ninjago, of course, has the new season coming out, or new series coming out, which I don't believe is like a reboot, but is something. And Core is coming out again, so I don't see a wave coming out that is as good as Crystallize was for me, and because of that, I don't believe the theme will be as good as it was this year. Marvel is already looking better, and if at least that Flash set comes out next year, it won't be non-existent. And you know, if that set's really good, I guess I'm just gonna have to judge it on one set. And if that set's really great, Lego DC will be really great. But yeah, an overall good year for Lego as a whole. And yeah, I am done. While talking about that, here is what I've gotten to. It's really starting to build up here. You can see sort of the height building up. The wings seem to be completed, and it's starting to look really good. And I'm excited to see when this set will finish, and I'm probably just going to do a short video showing you this set when I finish it, especially after doing these streams. So I hope you enjoyed this. I really enjoyed streaming. This is my last one, maybe next Friday, but probably not, because I will have some work to complete, because I sort of have a busy weekend. So yeah. I hope you enjoyed these 3 streams. I for sure enjoyed making them, and I'll see you in the next one.